speaker, Dr. Eddie Connor Jr.
Please welcome Dr. Eddie.
Eddie Connor has become a much in-demand motivational speaker.
Because when you speak to me, I can speak to the mountain and it doesn't move.
Television, radio, college campuses, and with faith.
Use what you have to be empowered and to be inspired.
Local author Eddie Connor's message to overcome obstacles and believe in yourself is something we all can associate with. And he's constantly giving back to the community.
I am joined now by local Detroit author, Dr. Eddie Connor Jr.
The tragedy is to be gifted, but to never open the package.
Once I'm broken, that's when my anointing is getting ready to come out. That's when my gift is getting ready to flow.
What's good people? Welcome to another edition of In the Mix at 6. You know what it is. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. And I always come to you at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hopefully you're having a great day in a great way. If not, I guarantee you it's getting ready to get better. By the way, remember, I need you to make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Eddie Connor. Of course, I need you to click the notification bell if you have not done so. You got to stay up close and personal on all of the content that is dropping. Be sure to pick up a copy of my best-selling book as well, called Identity: Keys to Discover Your Uniqueness and Unlock Your Greatness. It is available, yes, on Amazon, but also on my website, EddieConnor.com/shop. And you can go there and you can get a signed copy of my book. Listen, we are talking today about vision for provision. If you just get into In the Mix at 6, you got to catch all the way up. I need you to turn it all the way up and go to, of course, YouTube, youtube.com/Eddie Connor. You can binge watch just like you do on your Netflix, just like you're doing on Tubi. YouTube me. Yeah, not just on Tubi, just YouTube me, right? You can catch all the way up with all the content from the previous days, powerful conversations, powerful insight that I know is going to be informational, inspirational, and insightful for you. So I need you to tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, your timeline could be someone's lifeline. I need you to make sure that you tag, tell, text, invite a visionary in tonight. Yeah, I need you to let a visionary know. Don't just hoard all this information on your own. Don't be selfish. I need you to be selfless by sharing this information with somebody that I know is going to change their life, is going to shift the paradigm for their destiny, to take them to another level, and to really cause them to move into a new dimension of their life. So invite somebody in tonight. Drop your location. Send me your location. Let's focus on communication. Let me know where you're watching from tonight. I'm so glad that, yes, my YouTube family is with me. We got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook family on lock, and we don't stop. We're talking today about vision for provision. That's right. Look at that cinematic imagery right there. We're talking about vision for provision, how to see beyond what you see, and of course, transform your reality. And I really believe that vision is so important. Dr. Miles Monroe, I remember the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe. I remember sitting in actually on a few of his sessions years back. And I was always fascinated by just his wit and his wisdom and how he was able to make the spiritual and the practical really be interconnected and married together. And he was always someone who was standing on business, kingdom business at that. But I remember he said, you should drive through your neighborhood looking at all the problems, and not just looking at all the problems, but seeing that even in the midst of all the problems that are in your neighborhood, that are in your environment, that are in your climate, that are in your setting, every problem is a business. Yeah, every problem is a business. And he said something that I'll never forget. And it was probably just me and about maybe 45, 50 other people in a seminar room, meeting style, theater style seating. And I remember he said this. He said, uh, purpose. He said, vision is purpose in pictures. Yeah, there it is. Vision is purpose in pictures. You ought not to just see the picture of your future when you close your eyes. The picture of your future as your eyes are open, as you're walking by faith, as you're moving forward into your destiny each and every single day, day by day, minute by minute, moment by moment. You're owning it simply because you have a vision that really gives you direction. Your vision has to be a purpose in pictures. And a lot of times we don't have a purpose in pictures because simply we're just blinded by the past. We're blinded by all the obstacles. We're blinded by all the reasons why it won't work. We're blinded by what people have said about us and all of the things that have become, deleterious to our destiny. But here's the thing. If you're going to rise to a new dimension, you got to have a renewed vision. I told you before, as we started off 2024, you don't need a new resolution. You need a new revelation, right? You need a new revelation. You need a renewed vision of your life, of your purpose, of your destiny. And oftentimes the question becomes, how do I see clearly when life has become so blurry? How do I see clearly when my faith is foggy? When when my faith and my finances is not seeing eye to eye. In many cases, they cross-eyed. Right? How do I maintain a renewed vision and being able to focus on my future and focus by faith when in many cases life has become so blurry for me? For me, we're on my glasswares tonight. I just need you just drop an eyeglass emoji or something. Just wave your emoji hands in the air like you really care. I want to holler at all my glasses wearers tonight. Yeah, we can see we got double vision, right? I remember sometimes I'm in the store and I'm saying to the lady or the guy who's working there, what, I can't find this in this particular aisle. And then they walking me over to the aisle. Just come on with me, sir. Walk me to the aisle is right there in my face. I said, and I'll say something like, I got four eyes. I ought to have been able to see it. But anyway, I started wearing glasses not when I was about 5, not when I was about 10, not when I was about 15. No, I was late in the game. Started wearing glasses when I was 18. I know I still look 18. Yes, yeah. You compliment me. It's all right. But I started wearing glasses when I was 18 years old. I was a freshman at Eastern Michigan University. Eastern Eagles, hats off to you. Go EMU. Sitting in class, freshman in college, and I remember I was squinting to see the words on the board. I was squinting to see the words written by the professor. And a few days later, I decided to visit the optometrist, took an eye exam, and I can recall as certain letters and numbers were flashing across my eyes, flashing across my face. I realized I either excelled or I failed simply based upon the view that was in front of me. If it was too blurry, if it was too sharp, I just couldn't see clearly. And oftentimes, so many times, we have adopted, here it is, the vision that people have put in our face. We have adopted the vision that people have prescribed for our lives. The hurt that they have flashed in our face, the hardship that they have put in our view, it has yielded a skewed view of our own life, because now we're seeing our life through the lens of what people have castigated for ourselves, right? Rather than the desire for us to live through dying places, we have a skewed view of who it is that we are, whether it's the abuse, whether it's the lack of a parental presence, whether it's the painful words, whether it's breakups, whether it's setbacks, all of that has become a mirage. It has distorted the view of the vision, not only in front of you, it has distorted oftentimes the vision that's on the inside of you. But here's what I love about it. Just because what people have castigated for your future does not have to become fatal, does not have to become final. You have the final say on how you convey your life. You have the final say on how you decide to live your life, not based upon other people's opinions, but based upon how you see yourself. I just need every visionary just to type vision. Come on. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Come on, type the word vision tonight. Type the word vision. Vision. I got to see beyond what I see if I'm going to transform my reality. I got to see beyond the debt. You got to see beyond the doubt. You got to see beyond the trial. You got to see beyond the tribulation. You got to see beyond the budget. You got to see beyond the bank account. You got to see beyond people's opinions that oftentimes become your prison. You got to see beyond all of the struggle. Right? You got to adjust your vision. Here's what I realize about glasses. Here's what I realize about my glasses, right? I don't look at all my Gucci bags and my Louis Vuitton bags under my eyes tonight. Please. Let me just get in the mirror and get up closer so that you can see it. Yeah. Right. I hope I'm not looking cross-eyed tonight. I ain't got no wandering eye, nothing like that. Right. So I realize about my glasses. My glasses don't give me sight. I already got that. My glasses, what they do is when I wear them, it enhances my sight. If I'm looking at the game, I can see the basketball game or the football game. I can see the guy throwing the football on the field. I can see the quarterback throwing to the receiver. I can see the guard dribbling the ball up, trying to, put it in the paint, pass it over to the center. I can see all that. But I can't necessarily see the score based upon how close or how far I am away from the television screen. So what my glasses do is my glasses enhance my focus. It fines tune my focus. And my focus is what gives me vision. Right? And in many cases, this is what we have to do. We got to fine tune our focus. Because if you have sight but no vision, you still blind. Right? You can see, but you can't really see. I got to see it and I got to seize it. A lot of times, yes, maybe some of us can see it, but what are we doing to put in the work to actually seize it? I told you your 2024 is going to be based on how you use your 24 hours a day. Right? Because of what has been flashed in our faces, because of what has been placed in front of our eyes, consequently, now we believe that we will be what we see. So much so that life now, it becomes a mystery. The reason it becomes a mystery because we can't see clearly. Right? What does the song say? I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Right? Gone are the cloudy days that had me bound. It's going to be it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. When I was in the optometrist's office, I realized in retrospect that what I was looking through dictated what I saw. Whether I wear my glasses or not. Like I said, I got sight. I can see, but it may not always be clearly. When I have the right prescription, my sight becomes vision. Why? Because my eyes are focused. And here's the thing tonight. Here's the thing that I want to challenge you to think about. Where is your focus? What are you focusing on? If you keep focusing on what you won't have, if you keep focusing on what you don't have, you just won't have. If you keep focusing on how hard it's been and how hard it's going to be, it's never going to get easier. If you keep focusing on the love that keeps, quote unquote, passing you by, going around you, over you, behind you, around you, below you, you'll never embrace the love that is already within you. And hear me, I believe this is the season where your vision will become provision. And not only will your vision become provision, but your vision will lead to fruition. It'll lead to fruition, and it'll become fruitful when you decide to be faithful, when you are focused by faith. And here's the revelation that's wrapped up in the question: what lens of life am I looking through? If you keep looking at the lens of your past, maybe all you'll see is negativity. If you keep looking through your tears, your eyes are going to be too blurry to see what's ahead. If you keep looking through your mess, you'll never see the message. And the fact of the matter is, it's an indictment to walk through life having sight but no vision. What happens as a result? As a result, you remain blind to the vision in your mind. I dare you to challenge yourself. Why do I want you to challenge yourself? Because challenges create champions. I dare you to challenge yourself. I dare you to change the vision and the view of yourself. It can only happen by looking in God's word, because God's word becomes a mirror to see your life clearer. It allows you to get a clear view of you. It allows you to get a clear view of the vision that he placed that's on the inside of you, that the world is waiting for you to become who you are so they can become who they're supposed to be. It allows you to now take your life on pause, take your life off of pause, take your life out of reverse, take your life out of park, and put your dream and your destiny in drive. Right? You got to change sometimes the spectacle so that you can see your life has really been spectacular, or it's getting ready to be spectacular. Right? You got to look through a new lens and see love. You got to look through a new lens and see your purpose. You got to look through a new lens and see your power. Why? So that I can begin to walk by faith into provision. Here's the beauty about what vision does. Vision is about painting a mental picture of what you intend to build. As I said before, visions, purpose, and pictures. I got to get a clear picture of my future, or I'll never build anything bigger than just beyond myself. If your vision isn't clear, then the mist in your mind will eventually become a fog in your organization. Let me say that again. If your vision isn't clear, then the mist that is in your mind will eventually become a fog when you're trying to piece your vision together. It's going to be foggy when you're trying to build in your community. It's going to be foggy as a teacher. It's going to be foggy as a leader, as a scholar, as an innovator, as a content creator, as an influencer. Right? Vision is a picture of the future that produces passion. What wakes you up in the morning beyond your alarm clock? I know you're glad and grateful that God woke you up this morning. But what purpose wakes you up? What makes you come alive? What makes your mind expand and your dream enlarge? Right? When you're with the right people in the right places, I need you to understand this, you don't spend time, you invest it. Right? Eagles hang with eagles. Visionaries hang with visionaries. Shameless plug. Listen, if you're not a part of the Eagles Academy, you need to make sure that you go and get connected to the Eagles Academy. You need to become a member. I guarantee if you become a member, your vision is going to become clearer. Yeah, we're going to give you the practical wisdom and the insight. It's where I coach, it's where I teach, it's where I mentor, it's where I train, it's where I give practical breakdown week by week, each and every single week, with a crew, a network of gifted leaders like you who understand that their network determines their net worth. They don't come to compete, they come to collaborate. It's the transformation, it's the transparency, it's the truth. It's the way how you build and how you scale. We talk about all that, the business, the branding, the relationships, tapping into your greatness and your growth. What's stopping you now from joining? I need you to go right now. Yeah, there's at least 10 of you who are watching right now, but you need to go right now and go to the eaglesacademy.com. Yeah, the eaglesacademy.com, tap the join now button and become a member. And because you're going to do that, for the next 10 of you that do so, put in the word SOAR at checkout, and I'm going to give you 40% off your membership. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Eagles hang with eagles, like I was saying. Visionaries hang with visionaries, right? Who are you hanging around that now reflects the greatness of your future, or are they reflecting the past? Are they causing you to stay stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck? Right? You got to recognize that there's a leadership quality in you that you have to harness, that you have to stir up, that you have to cultivate. One thing that I realize about visionaries and leaders, there's four types of people that visionaries encounter. Maybe I got some people who are taking some notes tonight. And I need you to make sure you get your pen, or you get your pad, or you get your paper, you get your iPad, whatever the case may be. Some of y'all techno savvy, whatever you do, you got to do. Let's make it do what it do. Four kinds of people that visionaries encounter. Number one, these are people who never see it. They just never see the vision. People who never see it, they're just called wanderers. They all over the place. You just don't know if they're coming or they're going, like a ship without a sail, tossed to and fro. They have no direction. Right? You can map quest, you could Google Maps it. They still ain't gonna get there. They just never see it. Right? It's like running a football on the field, and rather than going straight, you start to do a U-turn. Matter of fact, you ain't scoring for the team, your team, and you ain't scoring for the opponent. You just running on the field. You getting cardio. we gonna cross the finish line if we are, or if we, whether we run a marathon or a sprint. We gonna score the touchdown. We gonna cross the plane of the goal. Right? People who never see it, those are the wanderers. Secondly, you got people who see it, but they never pursue it on their own. Those are followers. They see it, but they don't put in the work to pursue it. Those are the followers. Thirdly, you got people who see it and pursue it. Those are the achievers. Where are my achievers at? If you're achiever, come on, just type achieve, type achiever. I'm a believer, and I'm an achiever. So you got people who never see it. Those are the wanderers. You got people who see it but never pursue it on their own. Those are the followers. Then you got people who see it and pursue it. Those are achievers. But here's the highest level. Right? People who see it and pursue it, those are achievers. In many cases, they're just doing it. They do it for themselves. They do it by themselves. But here's the highest level. And this is where all of us should aspire higher to be. People who see it, people who pursue it, and then they help others see it and pursue it. Those are visionaries and leaders. Again, people who see it, people who pursue it, and then they help others not only just see it, they help others pursue it too. Those are true leaders. And here's the thing about it. The vast majority of people fall into the first two categories. They do not pursue a dream of their own, or they never see it at all. And a lot of times we don't see it because we don't feel as if we're qualified to make it happen. You got to reframe your identity. Many of us don't have a true identity. We have a lie identity because we've been believing the lie about ourselves. We've been believing the lie that people said about us. You'll never be nothing. Everybody better than you. You was never no achiever. You were never a believer. Everybody's better than you. So now we live vicariously through other people rather than taking the step to pursue, to take the path, to actually put in the sweat equity, to be committed to the commitment of bringing the vision to fruition, bringing the vision to fruition because we expect provision. A lot of us, we expect provision, but what are we doing to put in the work to make the vision move into a place of manifestation? The vast majority of people fall into the first two categories. Either they don't see it, so they wander, or they don't pursue a dream of their own. I need you to understand the poorest person is not the one without a dime. The poorest person is the one without a dream. The poorest person is the one without a vision. We all live under the sky, but we don't all have the same horizon. What do I mean? Story goes like this. In the late 1800s, there was a man by the name of Milton Wright. Milton Wright. Milton Wright came to visit a college president. They were talking about physics. They were talking about chemistry while they were having dinner. Mr. Wright looks at the college president and he told him he felt there would be no new discoveries. Everything had already been invented. President looked at Mr. Wright and said, you know what? I think humans will be able to fly in the sky within the next 50 years. Mr. Wright looked back at the president and said, nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. No way that human beings are going to fly. Here's the thing about Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had two sons, Orville and Wilbur, right? Known as the Wright Brothers. That something ought to be clicking in your mind right now. Still not. Let me keep on going. The Wright Brothers flew the first plane in 1902, I believe coming out of North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the thing about this. You can be from the same family and have a different mentality. Mr. Wright and his sons were all under the same sky. They had a different horizon. Isn't it interesting? Mr. Wright had two innovators living in his house, and he was discounting the fact that he believed that human being could actually fly through the stratosphere on a man-made device on a plane. You can be from the same family and have a different mentality. You know how it is. You got people who are related to you, flesh and blood. Y'all like oil and water. You don't even mix, right? Because what separated both of you, what separated you from them was the fact that you changed your mind. You shifted your mentality. Now they think you trying to be bigger, bolder, badder, and better than them. No. I'm just prioritizing my future. Mr. Wright and his sons, they lived under the same sky, had a different horizon simply because of the power of vision. So maybe you're asking yourself, where do I begin? How do I start? How do I develop my vision? I'm so glad you asked. Number one, this is what you got to do. You got to look within and ask yourself the question, what do I feel? Come on, write that down. Look within. What do you feel? I need you to understand that. And I didn't say, what does your neighbor feel? What does the person other than you across the room feel? What does your friend feel? No. I'm talking about, what do you feel? Why do I ask you that? Simply because you cannot borrow somebody else's vision. It's got to come from within you. It's got to be the heartbeat of who it is that you are. What's your passion? What fires you up? What keeps you up at night? What makes your blood boil? What brings you great joy? Right? Asking yourself those particular questions give you clues. Success leaves clues. Winston Churchill, former prime minister of Great Britain, he said, before you can inspire with emotion, you must first be swamped with it. Again, before you can be inspired with emotion, you must first be swamped with it. What do I mean by that? Before you can move their tears, your own must flow. To convince somebody else, you got to first believe. All of these ingredients are necessary to vision because it begins within you first before it can touch somebody else's life on the outside. Whoever looks outside dreams, but whoever looks inside awakens. I got to awaken the giant that's on the inside of me. You got to awaken the vision that's on the inside of you. When you ask yourself that particular question, what do I feel? What is my passion? What was I created to do? It leads you on the path to your purpose. Secondly, you got to ask you this question as well. You got to look behind you and ask yourself, what did I learn? Why do I say that? Because a know-it-all really knows nothing at all. How can you take what you've learned and how can you implement it? When I'm talking about implementing it in your life, in your vision, and how you connect with other people. Every significant vision is built upon the past lessons that you've learned. It's the successes, it's the failures, it's the miracles, it's the missteps, it's the mistakes. What experiences from your past inform you of your vision? What are the successes? What are the failures? Right? These are the aspects that are necessary components for your vision to move you into a place of provision. Jonas Salk, who is the developer of the polio vaccine, said this: first, people will tell you that you're wrong. Then they're going to tell you that you're right. But what you're really doing isn't important. Finally, what they're going to do is they're going to admit that you were right and that what you're doing is very important. But after all, they do it all the time. It is something how either way, somebody's going to take credit for your success. They said one word to you. I was their mentor. Come on. Right? First, people will tell you you're wrong. And then once you make it happen, they're going to ask you for advice. How did you do it? Listen, we're talking about vision. That's why you need my book, 2020 Vision. As you need the book, 2020 Vision. If you don't have that in your library, I encourage you, get it today. Download it, purchase it, put it in your smartphone. It's a smart purchase. It's a smart move. It's a smart investment. How to see beyond what you see, transform your reality. Get the book, 2020 Vision. You don't have it. Another question that you got to ask yourself, you got to look above you and ask, what does God expect of me? Right? It's one thing to have success, but success is not significant without God in it. You know, the motto has to be, listen, if God ain't in it, I don't want to be either. Success is knowing God, but is also knowing what he desires for you. Right? Because when you grow to that maximum level interpersonally, now it calls you to grow to another level to where you sow seeds to help other people. I remember my grandmother and my grandfather, God rest their souls, said if I can pass along, they would always sing this song. If I could travel along, if I could help somebody as I travel along, then my living will not be in vain. Right? Our living cannot be in vain simply because we're helping other people to manifest their vision, their reality. Right? I got to expect something better. I got to expect the great. I got to expect something to happen that's bigger, better, brighter than what it is that I've experienced. Come on, somebody just type tonight. I just need you to just type it. Better. Come on, type it. Bigger. Type that too. Brighter. Yeah. Better. Bigger. Brighter. That's the mindset of a visionary. Better, bigger, brighter. No matter how dark the past was, you got to allow your vision to be illuminated. Steve Jobs, who created the iPhone, and I don't know who created the Android, but we're not going to do a iPhone Android debate today. We're not going to do that, right? But Steve Jobs, who created the iPhone, he said, if you're working on something, and he said, if you're working on something exciting that you really care about, here's what I love about it. He said, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Let me say it twice because it's also nice. If you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. You don't have to be prodded. You don't have somebody ain't got to wake you up and tell you, let's get to work. No, the vision pulls you. What pulls you? What excites you? What's your passion? Here's what separates visionaries from those who just have sight. Most people have to see it to believe it. But here's what visionaries do. Visionaries believe it to see it. Oh, I'm talking better than you typing back to me tonight. I'm talking better than you dropping a 100 or you throwing your hands up or you dropping some fire emojis in the chat or you hitting the love button. Most people have to see it to believe it, but visionaries believe it to see it. Come on, come on. If you're a visionary who believes it to see it, I need you to just double tap to that. I need you to like, I need you to comment, I need you to share, I need you to subscribe. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, you know I'm talking that real talk tonight. I don't just have to see it to believe it. I believe it to see it. Right? Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. If you can see the invisible, you better know that God can do the impossible. Right? You have to see it before you see it in order to seize it. If you don't see it before you see it, I guarantee you, you never will seize it. How do I know that? When Disney World first opened, have you ever been to Disney World? I've been to Disney World. I've never been to Disneyland. I've been to Disney World, Epcot Center, all that stuff. Don't really do too many theme parks and amusement park rides no more. That's for another story, another day. But when Disney World first opened, this is what happened. Mrs. Walt Disney was asked to speak at the grand opening. Walt was not there. Walt had passed on. So Mrs. Walt Disney was asked to speak at the grand opening since her husband had passed. And so she was introduced by a man who said, "Mrs. Disney, I just wish Walt could have seen this." You know what she did? Mrs. Disney rose to her feet. She stood up. She said, "He did," and sat down. Right? Walt saw it before everybody else saw it. And so his vision was clear when everybody else couldn't see what the vision was. People were experiencing the vision, but he had already experienced it because he saw it already in his mind. So here's a few things I want to give you right before I depart tonight. I want to give you a few ways to increase your vision. And I need you to understand this. Hope is not a strategy. You got to develop a vision growth plan. Let me say that again. Hope is not a strategy. You got to develop a vision growth plan. What can you do to grow in the area of vision? Can you read biographies of great leaders and innovators? Do you need to expand your technical capabilities? Do you need to develop your level of content creation even more? Do you need to expose yourself to different cultures? Do you need to stretch the elasticity of your thinking and your expectations? Right? I got to learn more to think bigger. Little input, little output. Much input, much output. Right? I got to ask particular questions so that I can see farther. I got to ask particular questions to help me to see wider. Right? I can't just take things at face value. I got to cultivate an inquiring mind. I got to be a critical thinker in a chaotic world. I have to get out of my comfort zone. I got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I got to be uncomfortable with being comfortable. The most dangerous place you can be in life is not when you're walking on water, but when you're staying in the boat. John Maxwell asked the question, or somebody asked John Maxwell the question, what is the greatest difference between his leadership in his 70s versus his leadership in his 30s? He said, in my 30s, I gave a lot of direction. But today I ask a lot of questions. Don't stop asking the questions, because the questions really are the keys that open the doors of opportunity. Are you asking the right questions? We ask, how long is it going to take? Instead of how far can I go? Right? Or what do I need to learn? How long will it take is about arriving. Are we there yet? Right? You know that question. I've asked it. How far can I go is about developing. It's not solely about where you go, about where you're going. It's about who you're becoming to get to where you want to be. Are you with me? Okay. So that's what we got to do. We got to look within. What do I feel? We have to look behind. What have I learned? We got to look above. What does God expect of me? We also have to look ahead. What is the big picture? And then we also have to look around. What is happening to my brother or my sister? Why? Because I can't just be so focused on me that I'm not focused on other people. If you help people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And that's why my goal for 2024 is to help you become more. You know what my goal for 2024 is? My goal for 2024 is to help you achieve yours. It's to support you. It's to be of service. It's to strengthen you. It's to give you strategies, structure, and solutions to grow your greatness. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go to theeaglesacademy.com/store. Yeah, go to my store in 2024. Theeaglesacademy.com/store. And I've got a free ebook that I want you to download. It's called More in 2024. How to become more and make it your best year yet. Once you go do that, once you go get that, and then also I got some amazing resources for you. Bestseller book blueprint. I've written 16 books. Surely I know a little bit on how to coach you on how to birth your book and make it happen. Bring it to fruition. Bestseller book blueprint, taking your manuscript to the marketplace, writing your book. If you're already an author, how to increase your sales as well. You go get that. Theeaglesacademy.com/store. You can get that there. You go to accessidentity.org/author. You can go get it. Put in the word SOAR at checkout. I'm giving you 40% off, not just on that, but also on the Successful Speaker Strategies training that I have. A digital training, 4.5 hours worth of me teaching you, training you on really how to connect as a communicator. Art of communication. What words are you painting when you're speaking? And then, of course, the bestseller. I just mentioned the bestseller book blueprint. I just mentioned the Successful Speaker Strategies. I want you to make sure that you join my academy. It's time to soar into my digital doors of the Eagles Academy. The transformation, the truth, the teaching, the coaching, the mentoring, the training of what it is that I give you each and every single week. I want you to be a part of it. You have access to all of my teachings that I've done through the years on all types of subject matters to really take your life to another level. You'll be a part of our exclusive group and community with gifted leaders who network, who develop, who share practical best practices, strategies. It's the place you need to be. I guarantee if you spread your wings, you'll win. You want to be around eagles who know how to soar to another level. Go right now, theeaglesacademy.com/store. Get all those resources. Join the Eagles Academy. Put in the word SOAR at checkout. Get 40% off. Listen, I got to soar out of here. But you know, we're going to always do this again. We coming to you in the mix at 6 with yours truly, Dr. Eddie, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I need you to like. I need you to comment. I need you to share. I need you to subscribe on the YouTube side. Yeah, come on, YouTube. Connect with me. Hit the notification bell. Hit the subscription button. Stay locked. Stay in tune. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop at EddieConnorJr. Put some respect on my name. EddieConnorJr. That's what it is. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, for watching another episode of In the Mix with 6. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. I got to get up on out of here. But again, I will see you Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the digital airwaves, especially of YouTube. Again, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to be notified of all the new content. And of course, get my latest best-selling book, Identity. Keys to discover your uniqueness, unlock your greatness. As always, it's great talking to amazing people like you. I'll see you next time. Until then, it's your main man, Dr. Eddie, signing off. Peace and love, everybody.